That was my link.
You all are being recorded.
We're all being recorded. So we welcome you to this February webinar for camp and mission directors. And I'll have Mark open with prayer, and then we'll kick it off here.
Father, Son, Spirit, thank you for bringing us into the best life ever. Jesus, you came and said, I come to give you life and life abundantly, and we're so grateful for that. And there are many ways to participate in that reality, and it's through camps, it's through missions, it's through one-on-one relationships, it's through family, it's through life. And so I pray that all of us open our eyes and receive clarity to where you want us to go in all of those venues and avenues, because there's not one that's more important than the other, and yet we need them all in our life and in this world. Thank you for the leadership that is present here and would like to be present but isn't. All those mission leaders, those who desire to spread the gospel in amazing ways, and the camp directors and the treasurers and the admin directors of any kind of ministry that loves your beloved children. And that's what we are. So thank you that we get to gather together in this way, even though it may not be the most efficient way. Actually, it is, in our day and age, the most efficient way to see each other, to hear each other, and to learn from one another, but most importantly, to learn from you on what you want us to do as a denomination, as Generations Ministry, as a mission trip, as a camp, as a person, as a pastor, as a youth leader. Give us strength and give us courage. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, well, let me grab my PowerPoint, and that's not the one. All right, and I'm going to share my screen, and it will take a minute for you to see my screen. All right. So let me know when you can see my desktop.
Pretty suspenseful.
Isn't that exciting?
It is.
Can anybody see my desktop? No?
Not yet.
Oh.
See the halo glow around your head, but no desktop.
Jeff has one too.
My puzzled look on my face. Nobody yet?
Yep, it's coming up now.
Loading. It's coming up.
We love technology.
We got it.
Okay. All right. Well, here we are. We've already done our welcome opening prayer. We're going to start by talking about the curriculum real quick, which I don't know that this necessarily relates to the missions, but there might be parts of it that you can use with your team this year. I don't know how you run your structure, Lee, when you're doing devotionals with your missions people, but the curriculum could be something that you can shorten even into one message if you needed to. So we've talked about it at two different webinars. One we did a little more in depth, and you should have the links to those on YouTube. And then the last time we talked about it just a little bit about wanting to make it like a menu. So tonight we just wanted to talk a little bit about building that menu, and that we would love to have your help building the menu. So hopefully nobody's too hungry right now. I know Rebecca's eating her soup, but just like a menu has, you see sandwiches there, there's all kinds of different sandwiches. What we want to do is we want to have a menu for each day of the curriculum that you can pull toward what would feed your camp best. So this is a screenshot of what we've put together so far, and I really hope this works. If not, maybe somebody has a suggestion of another platform, but this is my GenMin training Google Drive, and I have folders for all-in curriculum. That is the written curriculum, the one that you have been sent in a Word format. And then I have an all-in folder for general resources and for the heart, which is loving the Lord with all your heart. That's curriculum 1, or day, I guess, what do we call it? Lesson 1,
yeah,
or
chapel
day 1,
1.
chapel 1, right. All-in chapel 2 is loving God with all your soul. All-in 3 is mind, strength, and then the last one is loving your neighbors yourself. And this link at the top, I'm going to send you in an email and when you click that link, it will take you straight here, and you should have permission to edit. So what that means is I'm going to go out to, let's see, I can go, oh man. Get here.
Yeah, do tab.
I was looking for a new browser, but for some reason it's not letting me go to my other browser. No, I need another browser. Okay, well, I wanted to show this to you, but I can't get into my other browser. So when you click this, you'll double click this, and in the curriculum you'll see a couple documents. You'll also see under here you'll see I put a link to a video that we saw on watching the Olympics last night that we thought would be really cool, showing athletes going all in. And so what I did is I typed up, this is a Nike Air commercial, and I put the link in a Word document. I saved it and I uploaded it to general resources. So all you have to do is click on this new. Once you're in 2018 Camp Curriculum All-In, you click on the new button and you can upload if it's a YouTube link or a website you think would be really interesting, just copy that link into a Word document and upload that to Google Drive right here as a separate document. So maybe before the end of the call I'll be able to log in and show you how that all works. But what I want to do is invite you, if you find a devotional or a book or a video or something that relates to a song, music, loving God with all your soul or something. You think, this would be awesome. Copy the URL from the YouTube link, put it inside of a Word document, save it, and call it a song recommendation for loving God with all your soul or something, some kind of title, and then upload it to this folder. So double click on soul or heart and click new, upload file, and then upload it there. And it will show who uploaded it. But everybody will be able to see it. And I trust you guys. I don't need to screen it all. I mean, I'll keep my eye on it. I don't think anybody's going to upload anything inappropriate. So basically, you all are editors of this Google Drive folder.
And that way, each camp director or chapel speaker or chaplain gets a chance to go in here and look and see, okay, what are our options? And maybe there are no options in that folder, but it gives them an idea. Because each camp is contextually different. And so writing a curriculum for all the camps is very difficult because I don't know all the contexts. I don't know all the kids. I don't know the chapel speakers. I don't know where they're going to go. So that's why we're trying to create this menu idea.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I figured out how to get to my other tab. So it's opening. This is a live view of my Google Drive. So as it loads and loads and loads, so I've got like 4 or 5 different Google Drives, but this is my GenMin training one. So hopefully you can all see this now. If I click on All-In Curriculum, I double click on that, it's going to open it up and it's going to show you. We've got right here the All-In. It's called I guess it's a draft still. Mark uploaded that yesterday, And then these are the webinars. There's a video webinar and the audio version of that webinar where you can go and listen to Jeff and Mark, myself. I think Alex Stevens was on that call, and Michelle Davey, talk about ideas and how to really approach the topic of all in. So those are some resources for the curriculum. Then a general resource, if I double click on this, is the Nike Air Olympic commercial I was telling you about. So so if I double click on, okay, it wants to download it. I took a screenshot of the Urban Dictionary definition for all in because if you look up in Webster's, all in means like exhausted, fatigued, worn out, like spent, which is really interesting. But if you look it up on the Urban Dictionary, it means completely, wholeheartedly, all like 100% committed. So I put a screenshot of that definition there, which it looks like right now it's wanting me, probably because I'm running Skype, to download it instead of just view it. So let me see if I can open this. Okay, so this is the Nike Air Olympic commercial with a montage of athletes training. It shows how they're giving their all. I wrote, there's no voiceover or spoken words. It simply shows the words at the very end, Nike Air, during the final couple seconds. So if you click on this right now, we could watch that 1 minute commercial, and it's like a bunch of athletes training, and they're breathing really heavy because the whole thing is Nike Air. But it was really inspiring just watching how they were completely committed to getting ready to be Olympic athletes. So then you just click back. And so let's say I found something else I thought would be helpful. I would click on New up here, and I would say File Upload, and I would click that, and then it will take me out to my browser, and then I can go find wherever I saved it, and then just open it.
Whether it's a Word document or a PDF or...
It could be actually a downloaded video.
But it has to be a link, though.
It doesn't have to be a link. If you have it on your machine, you can download it. I've only used 6 gigabytes of 15, so I have room if you want to actually upload the video if it's on your machine. But if it's just a link to a YouTube, you just put it into a Word document like this. So, are there any questions about the menu? No questions? Okay. So what I'm hoping is to get as many people as possible, like just watching TV, listening to clips on movies, things that are really inspiring that say all in, and then start sharing those. If you find a good devotional for your staff that fits in with this, that you want to, that maybe you prepare it yourself, upload it here. Let's share those resources so that we're together creating the best resources possible. Okay, so let's go back to my screen, and let's talk about websites for just a minute, unless there are any other questions about the menu on the curriculum. Jeff, did you have anything you wanted to add to?
Yeah, I was thinking about. Let me unmute my face. So you can at least see me. Andy, would you happen to have that fingerprint logo that I sent you?
Wow.
We do have it.
I'm trying to remember. I think you.
I mean, I've got it here. I've got it here. Let me try to open up. I have a temporary or a logo that we're thinking about that I sent Mark and Ann.
Probably email. It's on email.
I got it right here.
Okay.
Let me see if I can share my screen.
Should I unshare mine?
Oh, yeah.
Let me stop sharing for just a second. Okay, I stopped sharing.
Okay, everybody needs, if you have a thing on your page that says hide stage, you need to click that.
Huh.
If there was a button on your page that said hide stage in the middle, you need to click that. All right, let me see if I can share my screen. Maybe this is it. Share content. Let me share my desktop and pull up a. Give me a sec. So you guys should see you. Let me know when you can see yourselves. Everybody see yourselves?
Yeah.
It's loaded.
All right.
Oh, there we go. I see it now.
What do you think of that as a logo? I found it on I found it just actually on Google Images, but I was also thinking about the possibility of doing the same concept or having somebody do the same concept, either with an explicitly Christian view or placement, or maybe a Trinitarian placement, a Trinity placement. But I like this idea of the uniqueness of each one of us, connected, bound together, all in. Everyone's saying we're all in, but yet we're all in, wrapped up in who Jesus is and who Father, Son, and Spirit. So I wanted to get your ideas on that. Anybody want to chime in on that idea?
Yeah, what if you had the fingerprints in the Trinity symbol, and then a fourth one or whatever that's kind of the round circle with it or something? That would be interesting.
Well, since you and I are right next to each other, you can show me what that looks like, and we can play with it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have ideas, if you have any ideas on what to do with it, what we'd like to do with it, what do you think would be good? Shoot them over to me, and then I'm going to work on it. And I'd love to try to get this done within the next week, so that we can put this on the front of the on the front of the curriculum, as well as up on the page, on the Facebook page, and actually put some images to it. If you got any thoughts, please feel free to speak up.
I have a thought. My initial reaction is, what has this got to do with me personally, which you're trying to get people to do, be in with their heart, their soul, their mind, and their strength? This is emphasizing everybody being in, and the curriculum, from what I can gather from what you've said, is about a person being all in. So that's my initial thought.
Yeah, it's a good thought.
Good thought.
I think.
Go ahead, Ann.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the all-in is going to cover a lot of layers. Like, for instance, we're going to encourage kids to be all in, all in total commitment. So you might have imagery of people jumping off a cliff into the water, or jumping out of an airplane, going skydiving. So there's that imagery. But this imagery, which I think one of the things that struck me as unique was, oh, hi, Karen.
Hi.
I told you it's video.
Is that
You're on candid camera, kissing your husband.
Ann?
Hey, Pumpkin.
Hi, Ann. How are you?
Good to see you all.
People, there's about 10 folks here.
Well, I'm sorry for the interruption, but I just wanted to thank Jeff I just walked in from a long day.
Aww.
That's right. Dinner and wine. There we go.
Yeah. So what intrigued me about this graphic, which, I'm not 100% sure if this is the right one for us, but is that it showed everybody being all in, and that whether we're all in for Jesus, he's already all in for us. So I kind of liked the inclusive look of this. It might get expensive to print T-shirts if you had to print in 5 colors. That was one other thought I had. Because I don't know if you'd want all those fingerprints being the same color. Like if you did them all in white or something.
Yeah.
That's one other thing to think about. But it is an interesting idea to play around with. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I like it because it speaks to identity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Your thumbprint, your fingerprint is your identity today.
Right.
And it's our individual collaboration when we put them all on the same page like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
An interesting thought, just to pick up what Janet said, the point about our going in all heart, mind, soul, body, and strength is that by placing our print there, that's what we're saying. I'm placing myself in the hands of the Father, Son, and Spirit, and with everyone else. I'm placing all of me into this journey and this mission that we're on, because our goal, as you guys know, what we talked about is to not just kind of have a moment where we're talking about everyone kind of having that moment with Christ themselves, but now what do we do with that? How do we go from this place at camp or on the mission trip or wherever we are? How do we do that and go all in with Jesus where he is and where he's going out into the local communities and out into our larger world? I'm going to toy around with it because I want to see what it looks like if you put them kind of in a triangle. I just drew it kind of ovals, and actually inside it makes the symbol of the Trinity, which is really kind of cool. I just want to see if I can toy with it a little bit and see if it works. We'll see.
Cool.
I could see the kids at camp or on the mission trip. You could actually fingerprint them and have applying their fingerprints to certain documents or on a poster board that everybody's, that represents there or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We did that a few years ago, actually. One of the camps that I served at, we just got some black ink, one of those ink pads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had people put their fingerprints. I forget what we did it on, and it was just that symbol that we were all together in it. So anyway, just a thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had one thought. If you did something similar but a little bigger with hands, like when the team's starting to play or whatever, and they're going 1, 2, 3, go, that kind of thing. If you kind of zoomed in from the top, and you could see the different colored hands, you could see old, you could see male, you could see female. Just a thought.
Yeah, we're not married to it right now. This is the first idea, so please understand if we get a better idea out of you guys, let's roll with it. I wanted to send a couple of ideas to a couple of graphic folks that I have or that we have it on that's working with us. But that was just kind of the first thing that popped into my head when I saw it.
Yeah, that's great, Jeff. Thank you.
Hey,
So-
and real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Lee.
Just something real quick. You said something early on about the missions and the curriculum, and we always do look at the curriculums and use parts out of them, especially on our summer trip, which is 8 days. This one, I think, I read through it, looked through it, what you had so far. I think it's going to be the easiest one for us to incorporate in what we do. So I'm kind of excited about being able to basically follow the outline and use it in our mission trip this summer.
That's great. That's great to hear, Lee. Thank you. All right, let me jump back in. We're going to talk real quick. We're at the bottom of the hour about camp and mission websites. Simple websites. So I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you a website and have you tell me what you think of it real quick. So just tell me. Go ahead and unmute your microphones, and as we go through this website, tell me just how it makes you feel. So this is the opening splash page. Kind of hard to read that font up there, but it cycles through a number of different videos or pictures. Oh, that's beautiful. There we go. Okay, it's probably just loading. So it says, "This is your summer." It shows a map. A summer of possibilities, and then it always pops up with register, show me rates and dates, your home away from home, the magic of Timberlane. This is in Canada, by the way. So it just keeps cycling through those 4 photos. So if you click up on about, it'll take you into their menu system, and I wanted to show you a couple things about this website I'm not saying that our websites need to look like this, but when I came across it, it just made me feel really good. Like, I was like, wow, look how, this looks nice. I want to go here. And then when I got to the team, I clicked on team because that's an important thing to know who the leaders are. They give pictures of the directors, and they talk about why they love being at camp. This guy is one of the owner-director. He grew up at camp at Timberlane, and it's made him who he is today. She says camp is family and it's her pride. It's what she wants to do. And so each person, even the people this couple right here, are the ones who bought the property and started the camp for their kids. And then it's turned into what it is today. And so their pictures are there. I thought that was really nice. And then you can see a picture of all their team. This is their team. So it's a pretty decent sized camp. Anybody have any thoughts? Just your first impression when you saw the website.
Do we have a drone to take an overhead photo?
Yeah, you can get a drone. I bet there's somebody you know who has a drone. We had one of our staff members has a brother who loaned us his drone the last 2 years, and we've got some really great shots of our camp.
And
Cool.
not just our camp, the week we were there, but we were able to give the facility photos and downloads of their grounds, which they hadn't had before. So that was helpful. You just have to check with your facility to make sure you can bring a drone on site.
Yeah.
And there might be approved fly zones and unapproved fly zones. So just be aware of that.
That's
Any
helpful.
other observations, first impressions?
Yeah, I really like it. It definitely looks professional. I know for our camp, redoing the website is definitely something that we need to work on. We are pretty active on Facebook, but the website could use a lot of work. And yeah, this definitely looks trustworthy, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you, Rebecca. That's
a
exactly
good word. That's a good word.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like this looks like it looks professional. I could trust my kids to go here. The quality of the images is really good. So it's not all pixelated. And those are like things that you might not think about, but it does make a first impression. They've got a section for parents, rates and dates. Now, when you see the prices of this place, you'll know why their website's so nice. But don't be put off, because I have a way that you can do a website very much like this for next to nothing. So just some time. So look at these prices, guys. You'll love it.
Goodness.
It's for a month.
It's for a month, and it's $9,700.
That's by four. $2,000 a
So
week.
let's go down here to the Express. Is a day trip, $40. Weekenders for 1 weekend, it's $300. So that's still pretty, but that includes the bus and baggage. And then a 2-week camp, that's still pretty expensive, but $28.50. That includes tuck and laundry.
Oh, they get tucked in. Very nice. We
Whatever
need to
that
get our
means.
counselor to tuck them in.
I don't feel bad about our 400.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Don't feel bad about
Yeah,
that.
I mean, we're probably the most expensive camp in our network, and we're still cheaper than even the local YMCA 7-day camp.
Or the ACA average.
Yeah, the AC average.
Yeah.
So, okay.
You can raise
so
your prices. No, I said Marty. Marty can raise his prices.
Oh, Marty. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to close Camp Timberlane out. That was just a little exercise. Let's see. I'm going to go back to my I am going to show you. So, starting question, who is your website for? That's a critical question, because if it's just for the people that know you, you're going to put different things on there. I would say it's for the parents, first and foremost, because they're the ones that are out looking for the camps, right? And the campers, secondary, they're mostly on social media. They're probably not out looking at websites too much, but they might be, especially the older ones. And then, of course, staff, they might be out looking for a place to serve, or maybe a friend of theirs has gone to this camp and they want to see if there's a place they can volunteer. And is there anybody I missed? I just put parents, campers, and staff, but is there anybody else that might be looking at your website?
The state.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
Who is that?
Who said that?
Stan.
Dan.
Stan, that was Stan. Yes, you're right.
Maybe your pastor? Maybe local churches
Yeah, the state.
that are connected to the church closest to this camp, or whoever's hosting the camp. People checking out our denomination, maybe.
Donors.
Donors.
Donors,
Thank you,
yes.
Janet. Yeah.
What about
So
churches or large organizations like that?
Right, like especially Susan, I know you've gotten donations from corporate donations. If they're going to give, sweatshirts or water or something to your camp, they're going to go look at your website, right? They want to go see, is this a legit place? So those are things to think about when you're designing your website. Jeff and I were going to go through this before, but I had technical difficulties, so he might have something to add. But in our conversations, I just made a quick list of some things that we want to see on your websites at just a bare minimum. First of all, the name of your camp, which all of them have already fulfilled that requirement, so we're good there. The dates of your next camp, I'm not sure if all of them had that on there, but that's really important, of course. Right, like I think the first thing, if you have a splash page like the one we looked at, it said rates and dates. It took one click to get to the price and the dates. So that's good. Some of them have it right on the front page. It's the first thing you see. For me, when I'm looking around, I want to know what state this camp is in. When I'm looking at people's websites, what's the location of your camp? So I put that right at the top on our banner, Pine Valley, California, so that people know where we are. Tuition price, I don't put that in my banner because ours is high, I feel. So I put that, you have to click one click to get to that. I want them to get impressed and intrigued before they find out how much we're charging. But that's just me. How to register, just like a big green button, something easy. Here's click here to register. And contact info. How do I contact you? Can I call you, email you? And then this is a big one that Jeff brought to my attention is we at least in GenMin want to see the camp director's name on your website, and preferably a photo if possible, like the one I showed you, where you can even have a quote from them, like, we love kids, or we love camp, or something that just, I think as a parent, for me, if I were looking at a camp website, I would want to know who's in charge here. Like, what do they look like? What are the people, going to number 9, jumping ahead, what do the people of this camp look like? And then somewhere in there on your site, I think you need to say, we are a Grace Communion International hosted camp. I think that's important. And that's not on all the sites. The camp director's name is not on all the sites. I looked at most of the sites today. And so we'll talk about how to get those upgraded. But
can I speak up for a second, Ann?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, because a while back we were trying to get just an updated list of the camp directors and the key people. Melinda and I and Ann, Mark and Ann, we were trying to get numbers and email addresses. And actually, I went to a couple of different sites and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I just feel like it for us, camp is one of the things that we do really well, and camp is one of the things it's a big gift for us. So a smiling picture of you and your key staff, or some staff members, and some pictures there, with your email link, a phone number that somebody can reach you within one click. My heart is that if we know the dates and all the things that Ann has here, and Mark and Ann have here, but if they can be able to reach you in one click, just with questions, I think that's huge, and it's something that we really need to make sure we do.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. So if there's something else that needs to be considered, these are just 2 things I thought of. One is make sure that your website is mobile phone compatible. Whatever place you're using to design your site, you need to be able to know that probably 70% of people or more,
if not more,
are accessing your website on their phone, not on a big desktop computer screen like you designed it on. And that's really important to consider. So I'll talk about that in a moment on one way you can do that. And then also make sure you connect to your social media sites. Like Rebecca said, they're real active on Facebook, but if you go to their website, can you link to their Facebook page and see how active they are? Because that might be the place where you store all your photos, and you can link to it. And I can show you on our website what we've done to link to our Facebook page. Is there anything else that we might want to consider here and add to this list? All right, if you think of something, just give me a shout out. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go out of my presentation here. And I'm going to show you our site. I'm not showing you because I think our site is all that. Because I didn't want to put anybody else on blast. So, this is our SEP site, and we use a platform called Wix, Wix.com. They're becoming very popular now. You probably see commercials for them on TV and on the internet. So the way I've got it designed is the first thing you see when you get here. This banner stays the same, but this is the first thing you see. So when you scroll down, right there, you can kind of start to see, oh, this camp has, it's multicultural. We've got all colors, skin tones, pretty good size. We've got some fun activities. So you can kind of see that just through the pictures that I chose to put up there. And I tried to use high resolution photos. And then I've got two videos here that are really well done, that are captivating. Click here to get involved. And then what I put on our first page is why camp? Like, what's the benefit of attending a residential camp? And why SEP? Like, what makes SEP SoCal unique? And then why is it $525? Because, that's a big question. Like, what in the world? Why does it cost $500 for my kid to spend a week with you? So, I wrote a little article here, what it covers. And they can click here and go read the rest of the article. So if you want to steal anything from my website, you can cut and paste and make it your own. Totally fine with that. And then to find out how much it is, so I've got my dates here. You can click here to register. You can see all of our camp photos here. If you click this green button, it takes you to the camp page, the camper registration page. And right there, bam, $525. And it tells you when, and it tells you how to do some fundraising. It tells you why it's $525. I just relink all those things I just showed you, about 10 different places. And then some incentives, and then you scroll down, and then there's just like 4 places you can click on this page to actually register. So if you click this yellow button, it'll take you to the actual form. Pay, there's a staff app, and then one thing I want to show you is how I link to our Facebook. Mm-hmm. Because if you've done things in Facebook, it's very laborious to scroll through all the photos, especially when you've got thousands of them. So what I decided,
tens of thousands.
What I did is, I'll use 2016 as a good example. So I made these little boxes, and I put the numbers on them, and then you link to them. I linked them. So if I click right here, it's going to take me to a page that I created. I broke everything out. So all of these are linked to an album on on SEP's Facebook page. So if you want to see Novelty Olympics, instead of going to our Facebook page and scrolling through pages and pages and pages of photos and trying to find this album, you just click here and it will take you right. I link the URL right up here at the top, and it will take you right to the Facebook page and show you probably a couple hundred pictures of, or it's waiting to load, a couple hundred pictures of Novelty Olympics. And then you can just exit out of this link and go back, because I don't know if you've ever done this through Facebook, where you're looking for a photo and then you hit back and it takes you to the very top and you have to scroll all the way to the bottom again. So it's having trouble loading because I've got so many things open right now. But if you look here, you'll see it'll load up all my whole album right here. There we go. 2016 Novelty Olympics Sunday. So here, a parent can just actually sit here and scroll and see, wow, that looks like fun, and they don't have to go look through every photo. They can just they can see the dorm photos only, or they can see what the meal time looks like, or the counselors. So that's the best way I've found to store our photos. And then, of course, the beauty of Facebook is that you can tag these people, and then it gets tagged on their wall and their friends see it and they can like it and comment. So there's a lot to be said about storing your photos on Facebook. Janet Morrison used to tag them and label them, and we stored them on a different server. And now that we do them on Facebook, we just give a lot of people permission access, and then during camp, we create all the albums. So it's a good way to do it. Okay, so I'm going to close out of this album. If I can get my cursor to cooperate. There we go. Okay, so so you might be saying, wow, I could never design a website like that, or that would take a long time. It does take a little while, but let me show you how I did it for free. So, because that's the other thing you might be asking is, well, how much does that cost? You can have someone design it, or you can actually design it yourself. So, this is Wix.com, and the reason I had this page open is I wanted to show you some of the different pricings. You can actually use Wix for free, but what will happen is you'll have their little advertisements on the top. See, if you look at my favicon up here, is the Wix little X. And if you pay for any of these professional ones, you can put your own little favicon up here, and you don't have to use theirs. So like when you see SCP SoCal, the favicon is that little graphic up on your tab. Mine's a Wix. But if I upgraded and paid $16 a month, I could put my own little graphic there. Plus, get a bunch of other things. Have like 220 gigs of storage, a free domain, and that kind of thing. So what we do at SoCal is we pay $50 a year to connect our domain. If you look at this, our plan is called Connect Domain. It's like one of the most basic plans you can get besides free. And the reason I did that is because I want people to be able to go www.scpsocal.org and go right to our site. I don't want to have my site say Wix in it, which the free site does. But this builder is so easy to use. I don't know if anybody else that's on this call has used it.
Yeah, you don't need to know HTML.
You don't need to know coding. And
yeah.
And you know that first website I showed you? They have a template just like that. You can just click on a template, load in your own photos, and they do all of the coding, and they make the graphics move and spin. And I haven't upgraded our design yet. I've kept ours pretty basic. Because it's a lot of work to change everything. But eventually I will, because I was looking at some of the top camp websites on the internet, and a lot of them are using that style where it's just like one photo when you on a splash page. Wow, it's taking a long time to load because I have so much going on here. But what I wanted to show you was what the editor looks like on the inside, because I just wanted to maybe help you all feel confident at even giving it a try. You can go out and just create a free website and just mess around with it and see what you think. You don't even have to publish it yet. So, wow, I'm gonna close that.
I think this is very helpful.
Is it helpful?
Yeah.
And not only that, let me just comment on when you were showing your website and
Yes.
the pictures that got closer and closer and closer, it had an effect of drawing me in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think that's a cool effect.
That's just a simple effect on the slideshow. You could just have it zoom in. So I don't know why.
I was going to say, in regard to when you were listing, name of the site and dates of the next camp and location of the camp, I was going to say a list of activities, but the photos pretty much speak to the activities.
They do, and I do have a list of activities. Thank you for saying that. It's going real slow, but now you can see what I see when I'm updating my website, and the picture will load in a minute. But the reason I wanted to show you this is I want to show you how easy the controls are. So, like, I can grab this, and I can move it. I can just drag it down. And so it's what you see is what you get. And the thing that I wanted to show you is this right up here. Can you see where it says mobile?
Mm-hmm.
One of the features that Wix has added within the last year is the ability for me to click on this when I'm editing, and I can switch to my mobile view, and I can see
what it's going
to look like
mobile
on
device.
somebody's phone. And sometimes when I'm designing my page, it looks real funky on the mobile phone. So I can go in and fix it on my mobile designer page, which is probably going to take a minute to load up for you to see it. But that has been awesome because, as you know, a lot of our young people don't have computers. They're looking at everything on their phones. And actually the parents are too, because they're on the go. And they're actually trying to fill out these forms online. Okay, here we go. It's loading. Yay. One year I had a couple. They were at the Del Mar Fair, and they were online looking for a camp. They found us. They filled out the paperwork, paid, took a picture of him, and emailed it to me, and got registered while they were at the fair.
San Diego County Fair.
It was crazy.
And
So here's what it looks like on a phone. So I should be able to scroll down, and I can see, it's all smaller, but the nice thing is that Wix makes it readable, right? It's in a mobile format that's
awesome.
That you don't. I went in here and adjusted a few things and dropped some things down, but you can look at all your menus. So the other nice thing about Wix is it's unlimited pages. If you go to webs.com or some of these other, you might get 10 pages for free. But you'll see how many pages I have. Watch this. If I scroll down, I probably have like 50 or 60 pages on my website. Look at all those pages. And some of them are visible and some of them are invisible because they're just links, but they're all pages. And I was doing that before I started paying. So that was free. So that's a really nice thing. So anyway, if you have any questions, I don't want to take too much more time with this, but I just want to
mention something here, Ann.
Yeah, please do.
Marty has made a comment in the chat room for those of you who are looking at that. If you want to go to Marty's site as well at SEP Florida, there's a man who I talked to at the international conference. His name is Howard Salter. Howard did their site for their local church, but also for their camp. And Melinda and I because we've been talking about our own GenMin site, we had talked with him a while back about seeing what it would look like to do a basic template for other camps if anybody wanted to have a template made up. And as we were talking with him about it, and I was supposed to actually call him earlier today just to get back to him, but I got sidetracked. But I'll have some information by our next call for sure, if not before then. But when we were talking with him, one of the things that came up was just some of the costs that it would be to set up a template for registrations and for we were trying to come up with a registration platform that everybody could use or anybody who wanted to could use. So we talked to him about a number of things. And so but if you want to look at Marty's as well, the guy who did Marty's is willing to try to help with some of the camps. We'd have to negotiate costs with him to see what it would look like. Marty did say that he said he would be willing to do it at minimal cost or even no cost for some people if it's a hardship. But I at least wanted to put that on the record for you. I had a couple initial conversations with him, and I want to follow back up with him because we talked about a number of things. But we'll have some information. Melinda and I, or Mark and Ann, will have some more information for you about that coming up. But they're clicking over to Howard, or the page that Howard did for Marty there, if you want to just take a look at it.
There's a big picture loading.
It's a nice site. It looks really good.
It's very similar to Timberlake.
So I want to mention while this is loading that there you go.
Yeah,
oh, that's nice, Marty.
Really well done.
That's really nice.
Scroll down and you see visit gallery, stay in touch, join the team.
I like it.
Yeah, it's really well
Enroll now.
I like the countdown.
Yeah, the countdown's nice. Very nice. So you guys can see this is a very popular design. Yay, Marty's picture's up. Charles and Keisha, Michelle, Yvonne. That's great. Good job. Is Marty on the call?
Yep.
Oh, good job, Marty.
He's typing, though.
That's fine.
Thanks, Cheryl. I'm here. I'm here.
Nice. Nice work. I mean, I know you didn't do it yourself, but that's
That's great.
excellent.
That's top notch.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, and Howard, just a comment about Howard, who volunteered to do this. Howard is, if I'm not mistaken, he had a past in our denomination, and then he went away, and he became a Baptist ordained minister in a Baptist church, and now he's come back. I'm not sure if he's active in the Orlando church because it is a small group there, but he wants to come back and help our church. So.
Wow.
So that's good. Yeah.
Bonus. That's great. No, I'm impressed, Marty.
So stay tuned for information from it'll either come from Mark and Ann or Melinda Helsher. We're going to follow up with Howard and just kind of touch base again and see what he's able to do, what he's willing to do, what that would look like, and then we'll shoot some information out to you guys.
I want to mention one more thing because, as you know, the way to do everything these days is through mobile apps. And Wix now has an option, and I haven't done it yet, but if you look at their basic $16 a month, which is what, 200 something a year, 100 and something a year. You get 2 premium apps. So I might check that out because, people are used to using apps where they don't have to scroll through a web page, but they can just click on, they've got the app right there and you could send things to the app. So anyway, apps are very expensive to design, just so you know. So it might be worth, if you're looking to do an app for your camp, this might be the way to do it, or your mission. So that's just, and I don't get paid by Wix. I've just used them for many, many years. And I really think they're one of the better ones out there. But I love if you can get a template and not have to pay too much for the SEP Florida one, this is a great design. So very, very good.
We're just, Pathways Camp is transitioning over to use Squarespace because Ariel Kuhn has worked with that and websites, and it's got a similar kind of template to it too. And she's been working on that over the last few weeks. So
excellent. Squarespace. Okay, I'll have to check it out.
And it's similar price wise because we just paid, I think it was like $144 for the year roughly. So
great.
Yeah, that's a cheap price for a really good website. For sure.
You just have to have somebody who's dedicated to keeping it updated. Designing it, of course, is the first part. But okay, well, I don't want to take too much more time because for some of you, this may not be as relevant. But I think having a good website is really critical because you could be the greatest camp, but if people don't know about you, or even people who, let's say you're not trying to market to everybody in the world, you just want to market to the churches or your neighborhood. Let's say a day camp. You want those parents. I know if I were a parent, that'd be the first thing I'd do. Somebody tells me about a camp, I'd be on my phone Googling it. Like I want to see pictures. I want to know about this place before I take my kid over there. So,
like was it Rebecca said, trustworthy.
Trustworthy. Yeah, you get a sense about it. Thing. So, okay.
I have a quick question before we conclude.
Yes, sir.
And Mark, about how many people go to your SEP SoCal? How many campers?
We have about 100, and last year I think we had 120 campers and about 80 staff.
Her max was 180, I think.
Yeah, at one time we were 180 campers and about 100 staff, but we've gone down a little bit over the last couple of years.
Okay. And others that are on the phone, that are on the call? Is it you think but yours is one of the more larger campsites, right?
I believe so.
Right.
There might be a couple other that are about the same size, but our camps in our network, Stan, run anywhere from 20 kids to 150, 180.
Right. Okay, I was just curious.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hey, Ann, this is Todd. I've got a question too.
Yes, sir.
Completely different topic, but somebody put a bug in my ear about CCLI licensing.
Oh.
About the fact that I guess originally we thought we were all covered under some blanket license, and that may not be the case.
Yeah, that's not the case.
It's not we don't have a corporate license.
Let me, Todd, can I put that? I'm gonna put that in the parking lot, and we'll do a little research, and on the next call,
Okay.
we'll definitely cover that. Thank you so much, because
Thank you.
I think a lot of us are doing it
Under the radar.
under the radar. I won't say illegally, but under the radar. It's and that's a common thing for small churches. The bigger you are, the more visible you are, and the more you can get into trouble. But yeah, we do need to be covered, and it's not cheap. So that's the.
Well, it is depends on what it is. We had to do for GC Ignite. We had to actually get a CCLI license for GC Ignite.
Yeah.
For a large group one-off event.
Yeah, for one-off event. Yep. And so what you do is you let them know what the dates of the event are, and because it's a one-off event, your camp, you tell them it's a week long or it's a weekend long. They ask you how many people are going to be present, and they charge you for that. You give them a list of songs if you have them ahead of time, or it's the same. You just have to do a report of what songs are used. That's pretty much it. But it came up with from GenMin and from the denomination that we have to, for each one of our camps, we have to get an individual CCLI license for our camp for the location that we're at.
Correct. Yeah.
How much did that cost you for that weekend event? Do you remember?
I don't think it was more than it may have been $60 for the week. I'll look it up, and I'll shoot it out in a message to you guys. I'll make sure I follow up with that.
Okay. Thank you, Todd.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd. My guess is it's not going to be more than for the largest camps. It's not going to be more than $90 for the week. So,
yeah.
Our mission trips, Steve Solari's already gotten ours for this summer. I don't know the cost. He did it, so if you want to ask anybody some questions, he's also done it.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome. Yay, good job, Steve
Good job,
and Lee.
Lee.
Abiding by the law, that's good. We like that.
Okay.
So we're after 6 o'clock, but let's just real quick as we close out, just talk about the Camp and Mission Directors Summit. It's Friday, April 13th through Sunday, April 15th. And Jeff, did you want to say anything about this? Like when you need commitments and what days you want different people there, or how?
Here's what I'd love to do. I would love to, if we can, we found ourselves in the last number of years really struggling toward the end to kind of make sure we get our plan for everything because we don't know who all is coming. I would love to have our registration settled by March 13th. If we can have it like a month ahead of time, that'll give us a chance to really plan the breakouts that we're going to do so we know who's going to be there, who you're bringing. And that way we can really work on the plan for the actual breakouts and for the main sessions. We can talk through a bunch of that stuff a little bit more and specialize it for the needs of the folks who are going to be there. And one of the things I would love to have is for you all to, if there's something in particular that you believe we really need to cover at this summit, shoot it over to Mark and Ann, shoot it over to me, shoot it to Melinda, or just, let us know so we can start putting together, keep a running list, and then what we'll do is we'll bring that stuff together to each of us, maybe even on our next call, and talk about it and fine tune how we can go about doing that. The goal is to have all the directors there. I'd like to start at dinner Friday, or just after dinner Friday, so you'd have to get a meal on the way in. We'll have snacks and stuff Friday night. That price covers snacks Friday night, breakfast, lunch, dinner on Saturday, and breakfast on Sunday. And the room. And then it'll cover the rooms that we have there. Again, we're trying to limit it to the camp and mission directors. And if you've got like an operations manager or you want your treasurer there, really that small of a group, because I want us to be able to spend time with each other. We got some new directors that we want to have some best practice stuff with them, give them a chance to kind of go with you old veterans there, but also just spend some time building relationship and covering the stuff that really needs to be covered. And if we have a lot of extra numbers of voices, it just limits us in doing that. So bring who you feel is important to be there for your camp. But I just want us to be able to know as quickly as we can. And once you make your reservations and your travel arrangements, just email those over to Melinda Helsher. she's gonna coordinate that for us, coordinate the transportation on that end.
And if you have something that is really pressing that you really want to make sure that we cover, please send that to Jeff or Mark and myself, and we'll come together. We don't want this. We're not doing this just to kill time. We're all busy. We want this to be really deep and meaningful and helpful. So we've been working with Lee Berger and his team and making sure that that what we have for each other is symbiotic, and we can help support missions, and they're helping with camps, and we want it to be really valuable. So you walk away and go, wow, that was worth every penny.
We're going to get down to brass tacks, as they say.
And let me add this piece. One of the things that we're not just going to be talking about how to run camp. We're going to be talking about how to take camp back, how to take what God is doing at camp and live on mission. And that's why I want to make sure that the mission teams and the mission developers or folks who run missions, that they share what they do. They share what that looks like, because they are the microcosm of what it looks like to take the stuff that we do into a community and into a place and do ministry and just give ideas, fresh ideas of how to create a ministry opportunity for the young people who come to your camp and the staff. So it's going to be not just what we do while we're at camp and preparing for camp, but what do we do when we leave? We want to try to make a real, connect some dots back to the local church and back to the local community. So that's all going to be a part of it this year, in very deliberate and intentional ways. So keep that in mind.
That's great. Awesome. All right. Any questions about anything that you just want to throw on the table before we close out in prayer?
Oh.
I've got one thing I want to bring to your attention if you guys want to help out with this. We got a note. I got a note not long ago from Carla Sethna, who runs the John Whitney Foundation. And she, they sponsor people to go to our camps overseas, and they try to help the camps overseas over in Africa and South America and other places, Philippines. And they're always looking for help and financial donations, and also missionaries to go on those camps. Well, I started last year a fundraiser that I'm going to do every year, and it happens on March 4th. And what I do is I'm shooting a free throw fundraiser, and so I shoot 500 free throws, and I'm trying to get people to sponsor me per made free throw. And what I'm trying to do is raise funds for different organizations. And one of the ones that I'm going to be shooting for this year is the John Whitney Foundation. So if you or any of your camps would like to sponsor a little bit of, if you sponsor a dime per made free throw, and I make 300 of them, that's $30 that can be donated to John Whitney Foundation. I will tell you, last year I shot 500 and I made 416.
Oh,
yeah.
So I had some folks sponsor me $1 per free throw, and so
wow,
that will be $416 that can go to John Whitney Foundation. Or there's 6 organizations and 6 groups that I'm trying to raise funds for, and next year is going to be even bigger. But if your camps would like to participate in that way, I'm gonna put a link on the camp director site, Facebook page, and then you guys can share it if you want. It's going to be on my Facebook page, and then I'll share it on the camp director site, on the camp director's Facebook page. You can share it with whoever you want. But that's the goal. It's going to happen on Sunday, March 4th. But I thought it would be a way to be a blessing to Carla. I know that they actually helped. Lee, didn't they help some folk, at least one person come over to?
Yeah, they've helped probably about a half a dozen teenagers come to Crossing Borders.
That's awesome.
So if we can help give back a little bit, and I got a personal stake in the John Whitney Foundation because John Whitney was he was at our camp, and I knew John's whole family, and I knew John from the time he was a kid, and I just loved him as a young man. So he and his family did some really wonderful stuff in our region back when I was back in New York. So if you want to help out, that'll be available.
And just with that too, when I was in Malawi, I think John Whitney donated, I think we got maybe $1,000 from them, and that bought all of the food for the week of camp that we needed. So a little bit to us goes a long way for those camps and just the transportation costs to get some of these kids from these different countries to be able to go to one of them. So, because they don't have the money otherwise, like at all.
This is a great fundraiser, guys. You can get your friends who maybe don't even go to church or camp. I mean, the idea of Jeff standing there shooting 500 free throws is like, that's fun. People love a challenge like that. And last year, what was that, 80-something%, Jeff?
83.2%.
I mean, that's legit. And Jeff was even a bit thrown off because he got locked out of the building and he had to catch an airplane to go somewhere. And so this year, watch out.
Well, I shot 400 this morning, and
how many did you make?
I made 349.
Wow.
Yep, that's legit.
So that the goal is just pray that I can get. I had a gym fiasco last year and another one this year so far. So I got to find another gym in another week. But I'll be okay. But last year I got locked out and it took an hour to get somebody in there, and I had to shoot them. Had to go to church, and then I had to leave there and catch a flight like by 2 hours after I was done. So anyway, there was a lot of stress, but hopefully.
We got at the parsonage there, Jeff.
Oh yeah, right.
How long does it take you to shoot 400?
It took me. I can shoot about 100 every 15 minutes. So it's about.
Wow.
Yeah, it took me about 2.5 hours last year.
Do you have a rebounder?
No, I do it myself.
Oh, wow.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I do it myself.
So if you doink and it goes way off, you have to go get it?
I go get it, and
not...
I filmed them. I filmed every one, so you'll see if you want to see it later on. I film every free throw so that just because people are donating money, if people want to actually know that it happened, if they want, I didn't upload it, but I have them all on video. So
Jeff, you should go live on Facebook. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, you
that would be great.
You really might.
It's a long live video, but
that's the future. That's the future. That's the next one. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it a regular thing. And I'm planning to make it bigger. But anyway, I just wanted you to let you guys know that for John Whitney, that's one of the
great
groups that I want to serve, because it's not under GenMin, but it's a blessing that I think they've been to us, and maybe we can be to them. And this is my own personal thing that I'm doing, so there's no obligation for you guys to help. Please don't feel obligated. This is just Jeff saying, you know me as a person, and if you want to help, you can.
That's great. Thank you, Jeff. We got you.
Yeah, just so you know, that's about top 6% in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed your calling, Jeff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a Steve Curry action there.
That's all I can do.
Are you saying your jukes and your dives are not there anymore?
No, brother. I got a credit card vertical.
Well, are there any more questions? Or maybe I could just have somebody volunteer to close in prayer. I'll just pray over the next month, because it's going to go by fast.
I'll pray.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Gracious God, we thank you once again for bringing us together for this evening, for this time to just continue to see where you're leading us, where we've been, and what you have in store for us. God, I thank you for the ideas that are flowing and the way that we are able to share all of it that's inspired by you, that you give each of us little pieces, and that we get to come all in together to share your love and your word and your truth and who you are for us. I thank you for every person and just all that will be filled within this next month, that it will come quickly, Lord, and may it be filled with your goodness for each of us every day until we're together again. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Carrie. Don't forget, March 13th is the deadline for registering for the summit, and then our next video chat is March 22nd.
Let me say thank you to Lee and Melinda and Susan McKee and Mark and Ann and Rebecca and Stan and Carrie and Melinda and Todd and Marty. Thank you all for coming on tonight. And Janet, thank you all for coming on tonight. We are really appreciative of all you guys did.
Thank
Our
you.
pleasure. Thank you. Thanks all of you.
All right. Don't forget to post your resources on the GenMin training. I'll send that link out to you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Y'all,
Good
thanks for all.
night.